achitamba ega.
It is the desire of the people of Zimbabwe that the Parliamentary Caucus on Persons with Disabilities will become a key vehicle in assuring inclusivity of persons with disabilities in the national development agenda.
This launch is a very welcome, to say the least. That's an understatement. It's an exciting development in the arena of policy making from the Zimbabwe Human Rights Commission perspective, because as the Zimbabwe Human Rights Commission, as you know, we are established by the Constitution as the independent national human rights institution whose role is to promote and protect and seek to enforce human rights and lead particularly in that arena. Hence, when Parliament decides to form, or rather parliamentarians decide to form a caucus of Parliament to advocate issues to do with the enhancement of life for people with disabilities, we are happy as the Zimbabwe Human Rights Commission, because it means we've now got an ally, a direct ally, policy ally in Parliament. We look forward to, we believe that because of the caucus's formation, there is now a space somewhere in Parliament, a voice for that will, an ear, in fact, to start with an ear that will be quicker to hear issues of advocacy or lobbying, because as the Commission, we research in areas, we conduct research in our promotion work, we conduct research regarding violations of human rights or betterment of human rights, and marginalized groups are a key priority of ours. So we have a committee, a thematic committee for those particular marginalized groups. People with disability are one of them. The other three are the elderly. The other, number two, is minorities, ethnic minorities. And number three is the youth. So we work with that. So this is exciting because we have a direct or pigeonhole at Parliament for us to deal with issues like this. So there's an ear. We believe that what we get from our research, and also even the complaints, because we also conduct enforcement work, we receive complaints of human rights violations. We also we have an administrative justice mandate as well that looks at maladministration in institutions. And when I look at the complaints that we've been having from an administrative justice point of view, for example, we find that the complaints that are coming are from, I think, the section of our society that is usually privileged, the ones who have access to information, education, etc. We don't receive complaints much from women. Women are a very small minority, and if you can imagine, then imagine people with disabilities, because so that silence and that missing factor in the complaints we receive is worrying, because it clearly does not mean that people with disabilities, or maybe even women, are not experiencing maladministration when they go to government offices or council offices or parastatal offices or wherever. It means they are so far locked out and so left out that they either can't even access whatever services and cannot have a voice. So when we see the Disability Caucus coming in, we are happy because we are seeing potential for inclusion in policy making.
Isusu se caucus tichashanda zvakasimba, tichishanda ne portfolio committee yedu iyo inobata zvedisability, nesuwo secaucus tichashanda pamwe chete kuti tione kuti zvikwanisiro zvevanhu vakaremara zvaitika. Manzwa mukati muchairman we-human rights Honorable Jesse Majo vataura kuti toda kutotanga kutarisa pamabhazi chaiwo. Unonzwa zvaakunzi haagone kukwira akaremara uyai timutakure, kana matonditakura matokanganisa marights angu nokuti muchabata nhengo dzemuviri wangu dzandisingade kuti mubate, asi mwoyo wenyu uchiti uri kundibatsira, asi ininiwo futi ndichiona ndi kutokanganisirwa. Ngazvivepo zvokuti ndinopinda ndega nekuremara kwangu kwandakapiwa naMwari, ndichikwira ndichipinda mubhazi ndichiburuka zvakanaka. Panofanirwa kuita vanotakura vanhu vakaremara. Izvozvo ngazvingokwanira, ngazvive pamutemo yekuti panopasiswa paye kunzi iyi yapuwa license yekupinda murodhi, ngazvivewo zviri zvezvimwe zvinotariswa kuti haigone kupiwa license kana isina kurakidza chikwanisiro chekutakura munhu akaremara, munhu ane wheelchair.
We are very excited by the launch of the Caucus on the rights of persons with disabilities in Parliament. It has been a 5-year journey which we started with a working group in Parliament focusing on the rights of persons with disabilities, and it evolved and it has become a caucus. The disability movement is taking a leaf from the Women's Caucus, which was used as a platform to move and advance the rights of women in this country. So we are learning a lot from the women's movement, taking from the Women's Caucus, and we hope that this caucus will change the trajectory of lives of persons with disabilities and their families in this country. It is very important to note that we have progressive laws that are being made. Our constitution is progressive, but we just want it. The reality must then be felt on the ground. So we, as Devon, we trust, we are very excited by this launch.
Today we witnessed history in the making. We saw, for the first time of all the 9 parliamentary sessions we've had, on the 10th one, we have seen the establishment of a Persons with Disability Caucus. This is a welcome development because all issues that are discussed in Parliament, all bills that need to be passed, all discussions should also be disability inclusive. So having champions who will be championing the disability cause in Parliament is a welcome development. We're excited that the chairperson, Honorable Nyampinga, is well appraised with the issues that need to be discussed, and we hope to see, even when the Person with Disability Bill goes through its second reading, a more robust discussion that is going to touch on issues affecting persons with disabilities. So we're really excited as persons with disabilities to have been a part of history in the making. A very, very big thank you to all the partners that came together. Us as Deaf Zimbabwe Trust, we also had Sight Savers Zimbabwe, ZimCode, and the Equal Zimbabwe campaign. Together, we've managed to achieve this. And thank you to the Speaker of Parliament. He was with us for the whole day, giving us nuggets of knowledge on issues of disability and other issues as well. So it's a very exciting moment for the disability movement in Zimbabwe. History has been made.
I'm hoping and I'm thinking that we might finally get to start seeing money be put where our mouth is in advocating policy and disability issues like the policy we have and even the bill. And also in terms of, like I said, like legislation, there are some very practical steps that can be taken in terms of legislation, and the caucus can lead the rest of Parliament in sensitizing them, educating them, as well as encouraging them to also debate, and when they vote also.
Ndakamuona mwana uyo achitamba ega uri nevamwe, shamwari dzaimutiza, dzimwe dzacho dzaimuseka, asi kusanzwisisa masikirwo ake nekushayiwa ruzivo.